Welcome back. This channel exists because of your support. Subscribe, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's get into the story. I'm not an affectionate person by nature. Never have been. But there's a difference between giving someone space and being treated like a stranger. When I reached for my wife that Saturday evening in September, I wasn't trying to claim her or perform for our friends. I just wanted to put my arm around her waist. We were married. That should have been normal. Kendra snapped. Keep your hands to yourself. She said it loud enough that the conversation around us stopped. Warren paused mid-sentence about his new promotion. Lisa's hand froze holding a wine glass. The couple next to us, people I didn't even know well, suddenly found the ground very interesting. I stood there for maybe 3 seconds. My hand was still extended slightly, caught in the space between us. Then I dropped it, nodded once, and said, "Okay." I turned and walked inside Warren and Lisa's house, found my jacket on the coat rack in the hallway, and left through the front door. Warren called after me. "Ronald, you leaving?" I told him I had an early morning. It was a lie, but it was easier than the truth. The drive from Cambridge to Jamaica Plain took 20 minutes. I went down Mass Avenue to Jamaica Way, past the Arboretum where Kendra and I used to walk on Sunday mornings back when we did things together. The September air was cool, maybe 65 degrees, and my car windows were down. I could smell someone grilling nearby, hear music from a bar I passed. Normal Saturday night sounds. My life was ending and the world just kept going. I parked outside our building, a triple-decker near the Arboretum. We'd lived on the second floor for 3 years. 2 bedrooms, hardwood floors, exposed brick in the living room. Kendra had bought plants that I ended up maintaining because she always forgot to water them. They were still alive. Our marriage wasn't. Inside, her things were everywhere. Makeup on the bathroom counter. Her work bag on the kitchen table. Shoes by the door. I walked to our bedroom and looked at the wedding photo on the bookshelf. We looked happy in that picture. Maybe we were, back then. 6 years ago felt like a different lifetime. I sat on the edge of the bed and thought about the past 6 months. Really thought about it. Kendra pulling away from hugs. Turning her head when I tried to kiss her. Sitting as far from me as possible on the couch. Creating distance in 100 small ways until we were 2 people sharing an apartment, not a life. Tonight wasn't the first time. It was just the most public. Around 11, I pulled my suitcase from the closet and started packing. I didn't know where I'd go yet, but I knew I couldn't stay here. Not anymore. The next morning, I woke up early. Kendra still wasn't home. She'd probably stayed at Lisa's or gone to another bar with the group. That was fine. I kept packing methodically. Clothes. Toiletries. My laptop and work files. Important documents from the desk drawer. I took only what was clearly mine and left everything else untouched. Around noon, my phone started buzzing. Text after text. "Where are you?" "Ronald, seriously, where did you go last night?" "Warren said you just left? Can you please answer me? I'm trying to figure out what happened." "This is ridiculous. Are you really ignoring me over last night?" I read each one. I didn't respond. Instead, I called my sister Kelly. She picked up on the second ring. "Hey," she said. "What's up? Can I stay with you for a while?" There was a pause. Kelly knew better than to ask questions immediately. "Of course. How long?" "I don't know yet. Maybe a few weeks." "You okay?" "Not really. But I will be. Come over whenever. I'm home all day." "Thanks, Kel." I hung up and kept packing. My phone kept buzzing. By the time I finished loading 2 suitcases and a backpack, Kendra had sent 12 more messages. I didn't read most of them. She came home around 6 that evening. I heard her car in the driveway, heard her keys in the lock. I was in the bedroom, packing the last few items. She appeared in the doorway and stopped. "What are you doing?" "Packing." "I can see that." "Why?" "I'm staying at Kelly's for a while." "Because of last night?" "Seriously?" "Yes." She stepped into the room. "Ronald, come on." I was stressed. Work has been insane, and I had a headache, and you know I don't like a lot of touching when there's people around. I kept folding a shirt. "You told me to keep my hands to myself." "I didn't mean it like that. You're being so sensitive about this." "I put my arm around your waist. We're married. That's normal. Not everyone needs to be all over each other in public." I stopped packing and looked at her. "It's not just last night." "What?" "You haven't let me touch you in months. No hugs. You turn your head when I try to kiss you. You sit as far from me as possible. Last night you just said it out loud." "That's not true. You're exaggerating." "When's the last time we held hands?" She didn't answer. When's the last time you kissed me and meant it? I don't know. I've been busy. 6 months ago. Maybe longer. So what? You're leaving because I'm not affectionate enough. Do you know how immature that sounds? I'm leaving because you humiliated me in front of our friends and you don't even think you did anything wrong. I apologized. No, you didn't. She opened her mouth, then closed it. She realized I was right. Well, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Can you please stop packing? I'll be at Kelly's. I'll come back for the rest of my stuff next weekend. You're serious? Yes. Over this. Over months of you treating me like I'm bothering you by existing. I picked up my suitcases and walked past her. She didn't try to stop me. I heard her say something as I reached the front door, but I didn't turn around. I just left. Kelly lived in Davis Square in Somerville, a small studio apartment that somehow felt bigger than the place I'd just left. She helped me carry my stuff inside without asking questions. She made pasta for dinner. We ate mostly in silence. Finally, she looked at me across the table. You want to talk about it? Not really. But you should probably know. I told her about the party. About reaching for Kendra. About what she said. Kelly put her fork down. She said that? In front of everyone? Yeah. Jesus, Ronald. I know. And this has been building. For months. Maybe longer. I just kept thinking it was work stress or something temporary. But it wasn't. No. So what are you going to do? I called a lawyer this afternoon. Got an appointment Tuesday. Kelly looked at me for a long moment. You're filing for divorce. Yeah. Okay. You can stay here as long as you need. Thanks. She didn't tell me I was overreacting. She didn't suggest counseling or trying harder. She just nodded and finished her pasta. That's what I needed. Someone who understood that some things can't be fixed. Monday morning, I went to work like normal. I'm a physical therapist at Boston Sports Medicine Clinic in Fenway. My job requires me to be present and focused on my patients. Between appointments, I checked my phone. Kendra had sent 18 messages overnight and throughout the day. Are you really not coming home? Ronald, please, we need to talk about this. I can't believe you're doing this. Everyone is asking me what happened. What am I supposed to tell them? This is so unfair. I said I was sorry. If you don't come home tonight, I'm changing the locks. I read them all. I didn't respond to any of them. Amy at the front desk noticed I seemed off. She asked if everything was okay. I told her I was dealing with personal stuff. She nodded and didn't push. I treated 5 patients that day. A high school kid recovering from shoulder surgery. A marathon runner with plantar fasciitis. A middle-aged woman with chronic back pain. Each one got my full attention. It's ironic, I thought, that I spend my days helping people heal from physical pain while I'm dealing with my own kind of pain. But that's the job. You compartmentalize. Tuesday afternoon, I took a late appointment. The lawyer's office was in an older building at Post Office Square in downtown Boston. The elevator was slow. The hallways smelled like coffee and old carpet. Benjamin Shaw's office was at the end of the hall, professional but not fancy. He was maybe mid-50s, straightforward in the way I appreciated. How long have you been married? He asked after we'd sat down. 6 years. Together 8. Children? No. Property owned together? No. We rent. Lease is up in December. Joint bank accounts. 1 checking, 1 savings. Roughly how much? Maybe 15,000 total. Other assets. Cars, retirement accounts. I have a 401k from work, about 40,000. She has one too, probably similar. We each own our cars outright. Mine's a 2019 Honda. Hers is a 2020 Subaru. Shaw made notes on a legal pad. This should be straightforward. Massachusetts requires a separation period. Since you don't have children and assets are minimal, we can file for a no-fault divorce. The waiting period is 120 days from filing. Okay. Has your wife indicated she'll contest this? She doesn't know yet that I'm filing. I see. Is there any chance of reconciliation? No. You're certain? Yes. Shaw looked at me over his glasses. All right. I'll draft the papers. You'll need to decide how to handle the joint accounts. I recommend taking exactly half and opening your own account. I can do that this week. Good. I'll have the papers ready by Friday. We'll file next week. We discussed his retainer. $2,500 for an uncontested divorce. I wrote the check without hesitation. The meeting lasted 35 minutes. I left with a folder of information and a strange sense of relief. This was real now. There was no going back. Wednesday morning, I took time off work and went to the bank in Coolidge Corner. Our joint checking account had $8,400. The savings account had $6,800. I withdrew exactly half of each and opened new accounts in my name only. $4,200 from checking, $3,400 from savings. Total, $7,600 moved to my new accounts. The bank representative, a young woman with kind eyes, asked if everything was okay. I told her I was just making some changes. She didn't push. I set up direct deposit from work to my new account and left. The whole thing took 40 minutes. Walking back to my car, I thought about what I'd just done. This made it real. This was the line you couldn't uncross. I wasn't trying to hurt Kendra. I was protecting myself. There's a difference. That evening, I came back to Kelly's around 7. Kendra was waiting outside the building. She'd been crying. Her hair was in a messy ponytail, and she was wearing yoga pants and an oversized sweatshirt, which was unusual for her. Kendra was always put together. Always. I went to the bank today, she said. Okay. You took half the money. Yes. So you're really doing this. You're leaving me. I already left. Over one comment. One bad night. I unlocked the building door. It wasn't one night. She followed me. It was. We've had rough patches before, and we got through them. I stopped at the stairs. This is different. How? You don't want me to touch you. You pull away from me. You act like being near me is a burden. That's not a rough patch. I've been stressed. Work is demanding, and I'm tired all the time, and I just needed space. For 6 months. It hasn't been 6 months. Yes, it has. Maybe longer. I've been counting. She switched tactics. Her voice got softer. We can fix this. We can see someone. A marriage counselor. No. Why not? Because I don't want to fix it. I'm done. You don't mean that. I do. Please. I'm begging you. Don't do this. You should go home. Ronald, I love you. I paused. Looked at her. You have a strange way of showing it. I'm sorry. I'm really, truly sorry. I'll do better. I'll be more affectionate. I'll try harder. It shouldn't be something you have to try at. Everyone has to try in a marriage. Not to touch your own husband without him feeling like he's imposing. She started crying harder. Please don't leave me. I already did. You'll get papers next week. Papers? Divorce papers. Her face went white. You saw a lawyer? Tuesday. You've already decided everything. Yes. Without even talking to me. We're talking now. It doesn't change anything. Kelly appeared at the top of the stairs. Ronald? Everything okay? Yeah. Kendra was just leaving. Kendra looked at Kelly. This is your fault. You're probably telling him to leave me. Kelly stayed calm. I'm not telling him anything. This is between you two. You never liked me. That's not true, but it's also not relevant. Kendra, I said. Go home. She made one last attempt. Can I at least call you? Can we talk tomorrow? No. I walked upstairs. Kendra stood there for a few minutes. I could hear her crying from Kelly's apartment. Eventually, I heard her car start and drive away. Kelly and I didn't discuss it much. She offered me tea. I said no thanks. I went to the futon she'd set up for me and went to bed early. It was only 8:30, but I was exhausted. Not physically, just tired of everything. The next few days were quiet. Work. Kelly's apartment. Running in the mornings along the Minuteman bikeway. I'd started running again, something I hadn't done since college. It helped clear my head. Friday afternoon, Shaw called. The papers were ready. I went to his office Monday morning at 10, reviewed everything, and signed. Standard no-fault divorce petition. Equitable division of assets. Requesting dissolution after the separation period. Shaw said they'd have Kendra served by the end of the week. Wednesday afternoon, my phone exploded with texts. A process server just came to my office. You had me served at work? Everyone saw. Do you know how humiliating that is? I can't believe you did this. You're really divorcing me. I hate you. I don't hate you, I'm just upset. Can you please call me? Ronald, please. The texts kept coming all evening. I read them. I didn't respond. I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb and went for a run around Somerville. By the time I got back, she'd sent 8 more messages. Thursday afternoon, I was with a patient when Amy knocked on the treatment room door. She looked uncomfortable. There's someone here to see you. She says it's urgent. I finished with my patient and went to the lobby. Kendra's mother, Diane Sullivan, was standing there. She was 58, always impeccably dressed, a real estate agent who valued appearances above almost everything else. Ronald, we need to talk. Mrs. Sullivan, I'm at work. This can't wait. My daughter is devastated. I understand she's upset. Upset? She's falling apart. She can barely function. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Because you seem to have no problem destroying your marriage over nothing. It's not nothing. She told me what happened. You're leaving because she asked for a little space? Do you know how petty that sounds? That's not what happened. Then what? Explain it to me. Make it make sense. I glanced at the waiting room. 3 other patients were watching us. This isn't the place. Then where? Because you won't answer her calls. You won't talk to her. You just send divorce papers like your marriage meant nothing. Our marriage did mean something. That's why it hurts that she stopped acting like it. She's been under stress. Everyone's under stress. That's not an excuse to treat your spouse like they don't exist. You're being dramatic. Mrs. Sullivan, I respect you. But this is between Kendra and me. She's my daughter. And she's an adult. If she has something to say to me, she can say it herself. She's tried. You won't listen. I listened for months while she pulled away from me. I'm done listening. Marriage is work, Ronald. You don't just give up. I'm not giving up. I'm choosing myself. That's selfish. Maybe, but it's my choice. Amy appeared in the doorway. Ronald, your 4:30 is here. I have to go, I told Diane. This isn't over. Yes, it is. Please don't come to my workplace again. I went back to the treatment room. My hands were shaking slightly. It was the first crack in my composure since this whole thing started. I took a minute to collect myself, then treated my patient professionally. Later that evening, I texted Kelly about it. She offered to call Diane. I told her no, it was fine. I just wanted it to be over. The first month was hard. Not because I questioned my decision, but because the silence was loud. Kendra tried everything. Called mutual friends. Sent long emails. Showed up at Kelly's twice more. By November, the texts slowed to 1 or 2 a week. Less desperate, more angry. Then sad. Then nothing for days. I fell into a routine. Work, gym, running. 3 miles became 8 on the Minuteman bikeway. At the clinic, patients noticed I was more focused. Amy joked I'd found enlightenment. I'd just stopped being distracted. I let Kendra keep the apartment when the lease ended in December. Wasn't worth the fight. Kelly never pushed me to talk. Some nights we'd watch TV. Some nights I'd read. Some nights I'd just sleep better than I had in years. Warren called once in October. Asked if I was okay. Said he felt bad about the party. I told him it wasn't his fault. He said Kendra told everyone I'd overreacted. I said people could think what they wanted. He paused, then said most people saw what actually happened. Said Lisa told him Kendra had been acting strange all night, avoiding me, creating distance. I thanked him and ended the call. The 120-day separation period was almost halfway done. Shaw said barring any complications, we'd have a court date in late February. Kendra hired a lawyer, some guy named Ross Chapman, who sent Shaw a few emails about asset division. We were splitting everything 50-50. No arguments. No drama. Just math. Mid-November, I attended a continuing education seminar at Mass General Hospital. Topic: Integrated Approaches to Sports Injury Recovery. Required for maintaining my PT license. I wasn't expecting anything from it except credits and maybe decent coffee. During the first break, a woman asked if the seat next to me was taken. I said no. She sat down and pulled out a notebook. Please tell me you understood that last section about proprioceptive training better than I did, she said. I smiled. The presenter lost me around slide 15. Thank God. I thought I was the only one. Are you a PT? OT. I work at Spaulding Rehab. You? PT at Boston Sports Medicine. Nice. How long have you been there? For years. You? At Spaulding? 2 years. Before that I was at a clinic in Philadelphia. What brought you to Boston? Honestly, wanted to change. Philly was fine, but I grew up outside Boston and wanted to come back. Her name was Joanna. She was 29, athletic build, shoulder-length brown hair in a ponytail, glasses, an easy smile. She was direct in a way I appreciated. No games, no hidden meanings. Just straightforward conversation. At the second break, she asked if I wanted to grab lunch. There was a cafe across the street. I hesitated for maybe 2 seconds, then said sure. We talked about work, about becoming therapists, about Boston. Normal things. Then she looked at me and said, "Can I ask you something?" Sure. You seem distracted. Like you're here, but also somewhere else. I appreciated the directness. I'm going through a divorce. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. It's the right thing. How long were you married? 6 years. That's significant. Yeah. Is it fresh? The separation? About 2 months. That is fresh. Yeah. She looked at me directly. Do you want my number anyway? No pressure. If you want to get coffee sometime when you're ready, let me know. If not, totally fine. I was surprised by her directness. I liked it. Yeah, I'd like that. She put her number in my phone, added her name as Joanna, OT seminar, and smiled at me. We went back to the seminar and sat together for the afternoon session. At the end, we said goodbye casually. See you around. That evening, I told Kelly I'd met someone. And nothing yet. Got her number. Are you going to call her? Maybe. Eventually. Good. 3 days later, Tuesday evening, I was sitting on Kelly's futon debating whether to text Joanna. Finally, I did. Hey, it's Ronald from the seminar. Want to grab that coffee sometime? Hi. Yes, definitely. When works for you? Saturday afternoon? I'm free after 2. Perfect. There's a good place in Harvard Square. Pavement Coffee House. Sounds good. 2:30? See you then. Simple. Easy. No overthinking. Kelly noticed me smiling at my phone. The OT? Her name's Joanna. I'm glad. Thursday night, 2 days before my coffee date with Joanna, Kendra sent an email. A long one. Subject line, please read this. I almost deleted it without reading, but something made me open it. Ronald, I know you probably won't read this. I know you've made up your mind and nothing I say will change it, but I need to say it anyway. I've been thinking about that night at Warren's party every day since it happened. I replay it over and over. I see your face when I snapped at you. I see you walk away, and I hate myself for it. You were right about everything. I did pull away. I did avoid you. I made you feel unwanted in your own marriage. I don't have a good excuse. Work stress isn't enough. Being tired isn't enough. The truth is I was scared. Scared of what? I don't even know. Scared of being vulnerable? Scared of letting you all the way in? My therapist says I have attachment issues from my parents' divorce when I was 12. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's just who I am. But none of that matters now because I ruined us. I ruined the best thing in my life because I couldn't get out of my own way. I'm not asking you to take me back. I know that's not going to happen. I just want you to know that I see it now. I see what I did. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope you find someone who gives you what I couldn't. You deserve to be touched and held and loved the way you need. I'm sorry I couldn't be that person. Take care of yourself. Kendra. I read it twice. I felt a brief moment of sadness. The email was genuine. Self-aware. Too late, but genuine. I showed it to Kelly. Wow, she said. That's actually self-aware. Yeah. Does it change how you feel? No. Okay. I deleted the email. Too late for insight. Saturday afternoon, I arrived at Pavement Coffee House 5 minutes early. Joanna arrived right on time. She was wearing jeans and a green sweater. We ordered. She got a latte, I got black coffee. We sat by the window. How was your week? She asked. Good. Busy. Yours? Same. Had a patient make real progress with hand function after stroke. Those days make it all worth it. I know what you mean. Had a high school athlete return to soccer this week after ACL repair. Seeing them back on the field never gets old. That's the best part of the job. We talked about work, families, Boston, where we grew up, what brought us to our careers. It was easy, natural. Then she shifted. So, your divorce. Do you want to talk about it, or is that off limits? I don't mind talking about it. What do you want to know? How are you doing with it? Honestly, better than I thought I would. No regrets. None. That's unusual. Most people have at least some. It was the right call. That's all I need to know. Can I ask what happened? You don't have to answer. I paused, then decided to be honest. She stopped wanting me around. Physically, emotionally. For months. When I finally called attention to it, she told me I was being dramatic. Ouch. Yeah. And you left. That night. Good for you. I was surprised. Most people think I overreacted. Most people stay in situations where they're unhappy because it's easier than leaving. You chose yourself. That takes guts. Thanks. Are you ready to date? Really asking. I don't know. Maybe not seriously. But I liked talking to you at the seminar. I wanted to see you again. Fair enough. How about this? We take it slow. No pressure. See what happens. I'd like that. We talked for another hour. About running. She ran too. About books. We both liked mysteries. About food. She cooked, I didn't. About travel. She'd been to Ireland. I wanted to go. Around 4, she said she had to get going. Meeting friends for dinner. This was nice, I said. It was. Want to do it again? Yeah. Text me. I will. We hugged goodbye. Brief, friendly. It felt natural. No awkwardness. Just comfortable. Walking back to my car, I realized I was smiling. First time in months dating felt possible. I wasn't rushing anything. Just open to it. Thanksgiving came. Kelly hosted at her small studio. Just the 4 of us. Me, Kelly, our dad Robert, and his wife Patricia. During dinner, Kelly mentioned Joanna. I told them we'd been on a few dates, taking it slow. Dad nodded approval. After dinner, he put his hand on my shoulder. Simple moment of connection. I realized this was the first Thanksgiving I'd relaxed in years. Kendra always made holidays stressful. This was easy. Early December, Warren texted me. Hey man, wanted to give you a heads up about something. What's up? Kendra's seeing someone. Guy from her gym. Thought you should know before you hear it from someone else. Okay, thanks for telling me. You good? Yeah, not my business anymore. Lisa says she's moving really fast with him. Like introducing him to her parents already. Good for her. You mean that? I mean it. If she's happy, that's fine. We're done. All right. Just wanted you to know. See you around. Thanks, man. That evening, I told Joanna about it. We were at her apartment in Cambridge, cooking dinner together. She'd been teaching me basic cooking skills. How do you feel about it? She asked. I don't really feel anything. Not even a little jealous? No. Should I be? No. I just know some people would be. I'm not some people. She smiled. No, you're not. The 120 days passed. Late February, exactly 4 months after filing, I had my court date. Shaw met me outside the courthouse at 9 in the morning. It was cold, maybe 30 degrees, and I was wearing a suit. First time I'd worn one since my wedding. Kendra was already there with her lawyer, Ross Chapman. We didn't speak. We sat on opposite sides of the hallway. The hearing was in Judge Carolyn Porter's chambers. Informal. She was maybe mid-50s, efficient. Mr. LeBlanc, you're seeking dissolution of marriage? Yes, Your Honor. And you've reached agreement on division of assets? Yes. No children involved? No. Mrs. LeBlanc, do you contest anything in this petition? No, Kendra said quietly. And you've both had adequate time to review the terms? Yes, we both said. Very well. The separation period has been satisfied. I see no reason to delay. I'm granting the divorce. You'll receive official documents within 2 weeks. 10 minutes total. That was it. 6 years of marriage ended in 10 minutes. Outside the courthouse, Shaw and I walked together. How do you feel? He asked, relieved. That's common. You did the right thing, ending it cleanly. Thanks for everything. We shook hands and parted ways. I called Kelly from my car. It's done. Congrats. Want to get dinner? Yeah. I texted Joanna. Officially divorced as of an hour ago. How are you feeling? Good. Really good. Want company tonight? Dinner with Kelly, but coffee tomorrow? Perfect. That evening, Kelly and I had dinner at Island Creek Oyster Bar in Kenmore. We didn't talk much about the divorce. We talked about the apartment I was looking at in Brookline. 1 bedroom, near Coolidge Corner. I was putting a deposit down next week. Fresh start. Kelly raised her glass. To new beginnings. To knowing when to walk away. And actually doing it. We clinked glasses. Early March, I moved into my new place. 3rd floor walk-up in Brookline. Hardwood floors, good light, small kitchen, but updated. 1 bedroom. Not much space, but it was mine. Kelly and Joanna helped me move. There wasn't much to move since I was starting mostly fresh. New furniture delivered from an online order. Joanna brought plants. Kelly brought kitchen supplies. These will do well here, Joanna said, arranging plants on the windowsill. Good Eastern light. I'm going to kill them. No, you won't. I'll show you. Kelly called from the kitchen. Did you buy any food or just coffee? Just coffee. We're going to Star Market after this. Get more than cereal and beer, Joanna added. That's all I need. No, they both said at the same time. We assembled furniture. I was putting together the bed frame, Kelly building a bookshelf, Joanna unpacking kitchen boxes. Music playing from Joanna's phone. Natural collaboration. We ordered pizza from Busy Bee for dinner. Sat on the floor eating while the furniture was still half assembled. Kelly told embarrassing stories about me from childhood. Joanna laughed. I didn't mind. It felt like life coming together. Kelly left around 8. Joanna stayed a little longer. We sat on the new couch, first time alone in my space. It looks good, she said. Feels like you. Yeah. Yeah. Clean. Simple. No clutter. Is that a therapist observation? Just an observation. She paused. You seem different than at the seminar. How so? Lighter. Less guarded. I feel lighter. Good. She left around 9:30. We kissed at the door. Not our first kiss, but still new. She said goodnight. I closed the door and looked around my apartment. My space. My life. My choice. The first night alone in my new place. I made coffee the next morning and sat by the window. Watched Brookline wake up. It was peaceful. Mid-March, I was shopping at Whole Foods on Beacon Street. I saw Kendra in the produce section. She was with a guy? Tall, Jim build, younger looking. She saw me at the same time. We both paused. She approached. Hi. Hey. How are you? Good. You? I'm okay. Awkward pause. This is Derek. He nodded. Hey. Nice to meet you. We're just getting stuff for dinner. Cool. Silence. I heard you moved to Brookline. Yeah. 2 weeks ago. That's good. New start. Yeah. Are you seeing anyone? I am. That's great. I'm glad you're happy. Thanks. You too. Derek shifted uncomfortably. Babe, I'm gonna grab the chicken. Okay. He left. Kendra's voice got quieter. I got your email about the furniture. Thanks for letting me keep everything. No problem. I didn't need it. Still, it was generous. Pause. I'm sorry. About everything. I know. It's okay. Is it? Yeah. We both moved on. That's what matters. I think about that night sometimes. At Warren's. Don't. It's done. Right. Pause. Take care, Ronald. You too. She walked away. I watched for a second. Felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, not nostalgia. Just nothing. I continued shopping. Later, I told Joanna about it. How did that feel? Weird. Like running into someone I used to know. Not someone you used to be married to. That too. But mostly just someone from before. Before what? Before I figured out what I actually wanted. Which is someone who doesn't flinch when I touch them. Summer came. Early September, almost exactly 1 year after the party. Joanna and I were at Castle Island in South Boston on a warm evening after work. We were eating ice cream from Sullivan's, watching planes land at Logan across the water. We'd been together 7 months officially. Easy, comfortable, real. My lease is up in November, she said. Yeah. I was thinking about looking for a new place. Somewhere specific? Maybe Brookline. Heard it's nice. She smiled. I might know a place with a spare drawer. Just a drawer. We could negotiate closet space. Sounds serious. Is that okay? More than okay. A year ago, I was at a party watching my marriage end. I didn't know it would end that night, but looking back, maybe I did. Maybe I'd known for months and just needed permission to admit it. Kendra gave me that permission when she snapped at me in front of everyone. She showed me clearly who we'd become. 2 people sharing space, but not a life. I don't hate her. I don't think about her much at all. I heard from Warren she got engaged to Derek. I texted congratulations and meant it. She deserves happiness, just not with me. Kelly jokes that I'm a different person now. I'm not. I'm just not pretending anymore. Not pretending it's normal to feel lonely in a marriage. Not pretending I don't need physical affection. Not pretending I'm okay with less than I deserve. Joanna doesn't flinch when I touch her. She reaches for my hand. She leans into me when we watch TV. She kisses me goodbye every morning. Small things that shouldn't be remarkable, but are. The divorce was final in February. The apartment lease started in March. Joanna and I had our first date in November. Everything else happened in between. Small steps, slow progress, no drama. That's the thing about leaving. It's not the dramatic moment people think it is. It's quiet. It's signing papers and packing boxes and sleeping on your sister's futon. It's deciding you'd rather be alone than feel alone. And then, if you're lucky, it's finding someone who makes you remember what it feels like to be chosen. What are you thinking about? Joanna asked. Nothing important. Liar. You get this look. What look? Like you're figuring something out. I'm not figuring anything out. I'm just here. Good. Be here. I am. We kept walking along the water, my arm around her shoulders, her hand in my back pocket. Completely comfortable. Exactly as it should be. My phone buzzed. A text from Warren. Having people over next weekend. You and Joanna should come. We'll be there. Simple as that. Full circle, but better. I looked at Joanna. She was smiling at something across the water. The evening light caught her face just right. She felt me looking and turned. What? Nothing. Just glad I'm here. Me too. And I was. Completely, entirely glad to be exactly where I was. With someone who wanted me there. Someone who didn't make me question whether I was welcome in my own relationship. That's all I ever wanted. Not grand gestures or dramatic declarations. Just someone who didn't flinch when I reached for them. Simple as that. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.